So this entire time I was talking to y'all like, why is everybody saying I'm not online? So YouTube showed that it was online and live, and then I refreshed it and said, hey, you need to hit the go button. So, well, I'm gonna blame YouTube on that one because I literally had already hit the go live. It said it was live, and then it said it wasn't. So my bad, everybody. I'm gonna blame YouTube on that one. I was here the entire time I was talking. Like, why are people saying I'm not live? Like, I'm literally here. I'm not late. I'm literally right here. But now we know. Now we know. So, good morning to everybody. You hit the go live. I know, right? Like, I was streaming. It said it was live, but hey, freaking Scopely. Yep. Just go ahead and blame Scopely. Just do that. Blame Scopely. Not even YouTube. We're not blaming YouTube. We're blaming Scopely. Anyway, I'm here. Good morning, everybody. Happy evening if you're in APAC, because it's like midnight. Happy evening if you're in the UK, US, because it's like 6 p.m. Glad you're here. Great shirt. It's just a shirt, but thank you. Yeah, I got it before all the tariffs kicked in, so it costs like $2 from some place in Southeast Asia. It was wonderful. So, good stuff. Afternoon from server 707. Nice, Steve Daytona. I'm gonna have to bring out my server 710 account. Yeah, I like that server 710 account. I also need people to stop launching these dang Zindi Armadas so I can launch some Zindi Armadas. That's really grinding revs, yield gears. Stop running them. I need to run them, and I'm more important. Shout out Rich on server 20. I'm on 20 right now. It's actually where I'm trying to get our Zen Deep stuff done, and I just took the Revenant up to tier 10, so it's gonna be a busy day. Michael, good to see you. Doug, great to see you. Here, let's do I have another Armada crew I can throw in real quick? Let me take a look, and then I can throw the cube out here. All right, you'd asked for ideas about bond layers and mines. Well, great, David. Go put that idea where it belongs. Not here. Go put the idea where it belongs. Go on. Get out there. Get out of here. You go put that idea where it belongs. You're gonna take the Revenant to Mark III? Of course I am. Of course I'm gonna take it to Mark III. Absolutely. Greetings, Flashman. Welcome in. Hopefully you are also doing well. Good to see you. I'm gonna go grab the cube real quick, and I think the cube has the warp range. Yeah, cube's got the warp range. So we're gonna swap that out, actually have a little bit of a crew on it so we can get the uncommons running and the rares running. Trying to get a lot of these done today. And there we go, set course. All right. Tier 7 Sompek having trouble crewing for even the level 53 Zindi Armadas. Long-time listener, first-time caller, good to see you. Well, welcome in, Caffeine. What crew are you using now? This might be an easier thing to do as a one-on-one where you can message me on like Discord or Facebook, but I'm happy to try to help. As far as the Zindi Armadas, generally, until you get to the epics, most people are going to use, we'll go ahead and launch this one. Most people are going to use their epics or their NX-01. You can, the biggest issue you're going to run into is warp range, and as long as you can get there with the NX-01, you have your Lions carry you, you get the launch chest. If you're trying to solo these down here, you can, but most people just run these two at the very, very top. That's generally what most people's MMO or MO is when it comes to those. Now, again, you can do it differently if you so choose. Nothing wrong with that at all. And Sompek, though, again, I wasn't using my Sompek for Zindies. You can, but warp range is really going to be the more limiting factor than anything else. So, all right. I wish they would return to 24 and 12-hour wait team assignments. Never liked multi-day ones before, and now more on priority ones. Hate locking up officers for days. Well, thankfully, most of the officers you're locking up are not officers that you would use every day. But a lot of this does come from player feedback, and this is where I understand Scopely ends up in a tough spot, because on one side, you have players saying, hey, we don't want mechanics that make us feel like we have to do them all the time every day. So what do you do for that? Okay, cool. We'll create a new mechanic, but it's passive. You do it every few days, and that's priority one. But then you have people who want to be able to do it and speed it up. So, I get both sides of that argument, and I don't think there's an easy answer for it either. So, gold mission bosses aren't hostiles, but how are they not PvE? The only thing I can do to describe that to you is the same way that entities are not armadas, even though they're armadas. They're armadas 2.0. There are different types of hostiles. Gold hostile bosses are simply their own unique style hostile. Not everything applies to them. Generally, if you see something that says PvE, it's probably not going to be a gold hostile. It has to be something either generic, as in like officer stats boosting mitigation by, you know, a percentage, or something that straight says mission bosses. Welcome into Zorgo. Good to see you. Hate that you're sick, but I'm glad that you're here. Welcome in. Figured I would segue into asking what you're running on uncommons. So what I'm running is just standard Armada crews when taking on the Zindi. You don't necessarily need a specific crew. This is not necessarily a great crew, but it is a fully synergized Armada crew. And then I have on this one a shots crew, which again, not really a specific crew, just enough to get there. Remember, loot is distributed by ship power. So if I'm coming out there with a 2.5 billion power ship, and then there's Ichi with a 138, I'm going to take most of the loot in that instance. Although King Eagle's going to beat me with a 7 biller. So this kind of depends on what you want to go for. Loot crews definitely recommended either way. But if you're using an NX-01 to launch the ships, well, the NX-01, all you're really doing in that instance is you're getting the starter box. You're not really going to get much of the loot because of the loot distribution being based on power. And if you're using a big ship, well, then yeah, loot crews still matter because your ship's big enough to handle the Zindi Armadas by themselves. So any advice to beat the new level 70 surveys? Well, spend money because you kind of need to max out level 70 to do that. Wouldn't recommend it, but that's your answer. Spending lots of money. Even like a low tier Crenshaw is not even going to get a shot off. It's got to be a very tiered Crenshaw. So slightly off topic, but do we know why Dry Dock G shards and the key don't appear for everyone in the Augment store? Because it's rep based, Don Brazzi. What rep have you reached? It's not available at the very beginning. So there is a rep lock to that. You had one of the new level 70s in your queue trial. That has been fixed. That was part of why there was a patch in the middle of the night last night. So if you haven't checked, update your stuff to 78.2. That was one of the things they went and fixed. So 78.2. If you haven't done the update, do the update. There's not one in here. Yeah, there's not one here. Let's see. Do I have everybody here? Gotta make sure we got King Eagle. Cool. We got Ichi. Cool. It's not letting me star. That's weird. But anyway, need Razor to come on. There we go. Need Razor to jump in and then we'll be good. Howdy, Laromi. Welcome in. Did everyone get the free pull in the event store? Good reminder, killer. So, for those that don't know, a new event started today. It is mostly a spender event. However, there are rewards for non-spenders that you don't want to miss out on. So if you go into your event store, scroll just a little bit down the row, you should find, oh gosh, I say you should find, where's it at now? Oh my Lanta, where'd it go? It was just here before I rebooted. Don't tell me it disappears after you claim it every time. Maybe they put it in this bucket. There we go. Okay, they put it into a bucket. When I did it earlier, it wasn't in a bucket. So inside the bucket, you'll find the Con Officer Depot gift, which you can claim for 12 days. To complete the meta event, you only need to do that 9 days. So make sure you're pulling it every day though. Come in here and it's going to give you a assortment of tokens, as little as 1,500, as much as 100,000 officer choice tokens. Now for all the other boxes, those are spenders related. So if you're a pure free to play, then you just need to collect your box every day. And that's going to help you get the Con Officer Meta SMS completed. And like I said, you need 9 of the 12 to make that happen. So every time you claim it, you're getting 100 points. So getting that to 900 obviously is 9 days. Simple math. Even a monkey can make that math. Now, for the rest of it, it is based on spending and buying certain packs and such. You can find that here where you see purchase the Con Officer Depot Premium Cash Unlock in the store and then complete the specified milestone in the Con Officer Depot SMS. You still need to, regardless, either way, pull the daily SMS, but to get the other stuff, you need to then have purchased the premium. But if you're a pure free-to-play, there's still a lot of gifts there for you to collect. Again, 12 straight days of the officer token currency for that mini event store, as well as the SMS over here, which as you can see pays out more of the officer tokens. So even if you're pure free-to-play, absolutely worth doing. This is 20,000 tokens here. You're going to be able to get some every day. How much you get is obviously RNG, but whether you're a spender or a free-to-play, definitely recommend going after it because there are a lot of officers being presented, and hopefully, or I would assume most of you want those officers, right? It just seems like logical to assume y'all want the officer. Speed this bad boy up. If you max Syndicate and win more, does it go into a bucket for the next upgrade? Yes. So if you maxed out Syndicate at level 55 and you get more Syndicate XP, then it gets saved for the next time they do a Syndicate expansion. Yes. And Mason, good to see you. Not shabby for $15. Yeah, it's not an expensive pack, right? And I'm not here to shield packs for Scopely. That's not my job, nor would I feel right doing it. But I will say I am going to praise Scopely for doing things like making purchases that are more, readily accessible to the average player. You see, this is a $50 one. You have a $100 one, and you've had a lot of cheaper pack options start coming in here in recent weeks, which is nice to see. Again, I'm not trying to tell you to buy them, but I will say it's nice that not every pack is $100 anymore, and that is exactly how it was for a very, very annoyingly long time. I'm very glad that is no longer the case. Not everything is $100 now. So, go ahead and start this one since I'm here. Do you like the mechanics / value of the FT Genesis device? No, I do not. I think the Genesis device is worthless. I'm not trying to be mean to it. I love Wrath of Khan, and I think that there have been a lot of good things this month that have come in, mechanic-wise. Bulk Refine, great quality of life. I think Priority 1 away teams are fantastic. I think the Genesis device is completely worthless, and if you get it free to play, cool. It's definitely not worth purchasing. That's just my opinion. Now, somebody else can chime in if they have a differing opinion there, but I do not think it's worth it. I do not think that to me, it's very much like the Vindicator without the Vindicator refinery. The Vindicator was an answer to a question nobody was asking. Same thing here. Nobody was asking, how can I get better here? Because the special ship does it itself. And just so that everybody can see what I'm talking about, let me put the Genesis device on the screen. So the Genesis device, which is a rare, is going to improve your Revenant's shots versus Borg Type 3 Solo Armadas and improve your critical damage against Borg Polygon, as well as a shield bonus. This is just not needed. The Revenant is A-OK by itself, completely naked, not needing this to help you perform against the Solo Armadas or the Polygons. Absolutely not needed. Wasting $50. If you're going to spend $50 in the game, if you say, hey, Rev, $50 is burning in my pocket, then I'm going to go say buy the officer cash and take part in that SMS rather than buying the Genesis device. I just don't feel like players will get much value for that. My take and opinion. Everybody here is more than welcome to chime in, but I just absolutely do not think that's worth it. When you don't log in for 3 months, you get a free battle pass unlock. Yes, there is a gift for some players if you spend an extended amount of time away. They throw you a freebie to try to put that hook back in your mouth and reel you back in. So, reel you back in. Good question from TJ Doberman. So, I didn't know we had a dog in the chat, but you know what? Woof woof and bow wow. How about faction rep? Where does it cap out at? It's 120 million. It's called Exile, and that is now where Augment maxes out. To get to Superior is 60 million, so half of the max. And that's where you can start running those missions that you can do the Khan's Champions. And that allows you to get free to play Khan, free to play Joaquin, and grind that stuff out, as well as the away teams that allow you to get free to play Khan. So we got Voyager, King Eagle, and JTK. While at level 60 is only G5 Epic Crystal in the dailies, but not G5 or Gas. It's how it's always been, Ryan. The Battle Pass has always been Crystal heavy, including paying out Epics where the other two did not. So that's just, I'm not saying that's how it should be, but that's just simply how it always has been. Again, absolutely supported changing. I think it should provide all of them. But there are epics provided in other areas, so there you are. All right, cool. I got that done very quickly. That was nice. Now I can head back home. Recall. If it's burning in their pocket, they should pass it over here. Amen, Mason. Same thing. Yeah, I'm right there. You just gotta dump it. Rev's medical bills. But again, never required. Greatly appreciated. Right there with you, though, Mason. Miss Joanne says, I opened the treasury earlier today and used all that Latinum to get a Nova, a Corvus, and upgrade level 54. Plus, I still have over 50 million left. Today's a good day. Miss Joanne, love to hear you having a great day in the game. That matters more than anything. That's awesome. Happy for you. Congratulations on leveling up and getting a couple new ships. One of the things in STFC that will never get old to me, and this might not apply to everybody, is unlocking new ships. That is still one of the most fun things I do, I plan for. Absolutely love it. It's wonderful. And yo, Tim, thank you for the kindness. Tim gifted 5 memberships to the YouTube channel, which gives you a special color to your name, special cool things you can have like emotes. Thank you, Tim. That's very kind. I greatly appreciate that. Thank you very, very much. But yeah, unlocking new ships, hands down for me, one of the most exciting things you can do in this game. And the Dex is next on my list. For those curious, the Dex is the next one that you're going to see rev with. I've already got the Rotaran. We got the Enterprise D. Both of those are tier 11, right? The Dex is what's left. Still have tons of research I need to do, but the Dex is next on the list. So that one's the big one next. And then after that, it's probably going to be whatever special ship they roll out with in the near future. Wonder what that could be. NCC, what it could be. Who knows? Who even knows? Nobody knows, right? Nobody can predict what Scopely comes out with. Their ways are, so shrouded in mystery. Nobody can guess what could possibly come into this game. That's a special ship that's to do with Wrath of Khan. Nobody could assume it. To think you can is a fool's errand. But people will attempt anyway. So it's just how it goes. I'm gonna go ahead and apply this. I'm gonna put another Armada crew back up there. What's up, Andrew? How you doing? Welcome in. Good to see you. Let me see if I can fly back on up here. Fly me to the moon. Let me play. All right, let me see if I can speed this up while I'm terribly singing. All right, let's go. Scopely is so mysterious, but their tendency to do special ships is very reliant. I agree. Major Samus says not even time travel from 1864 could ever predict. You know what? You're probably right. And a time travel from 1864 would be a very odd thing indeed. Very, very odd thing indeed. You've got to say 18 to 64 reasons? What do you mean? I mean, that's a lot of reasons. That's a lot of reasons. Who would drop hints? Hints are bad. Do that. All right. Greg asked a question. Having trouble creating crits for my second ship in Krenim fights. Full synergy symbiosis crew doesn't make crits. Using 6 Khan and Lork from other ship suggestions. Yeah, well, I guess it really comes down to what officers do you have. Let me call in on this Armada real quick. In Wick. Make sure that's Wickeds. Yep, cool. But what officers have you unlocked? I guess would be one of my big questions. If you look here, below decks, when hit by an Armada or hostile, increase critical hit chance by 4% for 4 rounds. That is Mazriad Vael. I don't know if you have Mazriad Vael, but she boosts the old criticals. Now, what were you going? Oh, you were going against Krenim, which is entity specific. My bad. So I just gave you an Armada one. If you're doing that, Khan can give you crits. As far as other officers, what most people end up doing is running more ISO related builds than running a crit build. You run crit if you can. There's nothing wrong with that. But what you see more of is people running ISO builds, such as DeMarco. If you have Nesmith, a lot of people will run Nesmith. Let me let this load up, and it take 15 years to load up. These updates, man, it's been a rough month. Let me tell you. I hate to be a hater, but acknowledging the truth. It's oof. Had some moments. All right, but you see you have to never surrender, which is Apex barrier for hostiles. But you got the never give up, which is shield mitigation versus entities. So, usually with entities, people are going different directions if they have to, because not everybody has, unlimited critical builds. There are researchers that can help with critical builds as well, but ISO is generally more of the focus. For example, Dejash Tol-Ra, who you see me running with, is going to help you with your weapon shots, and if you have Gwen DeMarco on the side, that's going to then magnify what you're putting out. And to be real quickly, emphatic on how important these officers are, sneak peek preview. When I do a video tomorrow talking about the event run right here, I'm going to be talking about going after those type of officers. Like, yeah, if you're into PvP, cool, PvP officers. But if you scroll out here and you see Gwen DeMarco and Nesmith, you probably want them to help you with your entity runs. If you are in the new sourcing with Augment, or not Augment, you want in the factions, you want Dejash Tol-Ra. You should be going after Dejash Tol-Ra. If you come in here to DTI, you're going to see Seska, Beer, Vael, and Tol-Ra. This is something that people should be going after, as well as Janeway's Pocket Watch. So, it's all about finding what you need, focusing and targeting in on that. ISO builds are more of the preference for entities. So, speaking of those builds, oh my Lanta, I forgot I can upgrade the Shield of Pericles now. So I need to do that. I need to check when there's an event. Okay, we got that to upgrade. There we go. Janeway's Pocket Watch. ISO damage versus players that have any state. I just need to check when the next artifact event is. You have Enterprise E-Crew available. I guess that's an Overops 40 thing. I have Enterprise E-Crew on my level 30 account. So, adding those tooltips are a way to mask the slow loading on the transition screen. They used to fly by. Well, they were flying by for me 2 updates ago. Like the big patch. It's only these mini patches that have been causing that problem for me. Like the main patch 78 was fine. All right, I gotta wait for another one to spawn in here. Poop, 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 poop. So, is the event tab's broken for you? Nope, it is not. The event tab is not broken for Rev. Don't know why I beamed that. Doesn't really matter, but I beamed it anyway. Mini patch caused you to not finish events. Heard. Any chance Goblin will be doing localized prices in the store for the near future? Nope. Well, I mean, they technically do have localized prices. I'm not sure exactly what you mean by localized prices. So Exela, Google, and Apple handle the conversion rates. So let's just say you're in what's a country? Say you're in Mexico, and you're doing it in pesos. Well, they're going to convert that. So Exela will show the price for what it should be for you, and that's handled by the companies that do their payment stuff. Like euros. All that is based off a $100 American dollar pack, and then those companies will do conversion and fees added onto it. So, let's see if there's one in here. Dang it, somebody just launched it. I ought to destroy every single one of them. Let me see. Am I in? Yes. Called in. Sweet. And there's not another one in there. We gotta wait for another to respawn. Heard you were spoiling about my new ship? Moopsy, what do you mean? I would never, first of all, do such a thing. Second of all, I don't know what you're talking about, my friend. Good to see you, though. Always a pleasure. It's funny how $100 are 100 euro, but $50 are 50 euro. Hey, look, again, bring that up with Exela and stuff. While a company can manually do said price setting, Scopely has those companies settle it, and keep in mind that they charge a fee for that. So you got to get them fees in, and then of course what the actual exchange rate is, and it is not constantly updating as well. That's another thing that should be noted. It is not a constant update. So it's, you could, for whatever reason, the US almighty dollar might have gone up or down today, but it's not going to be daily adjusted. It's going to be set to what it is based on whatever marker they have. G-Child says, I'm an American, but started playing game while I was overseas, so I'm on the APAC, and website is locked to the Philippine peso, so packs are cheaper, even though I'm in the States. Well, enjoy that, you lint liquor. We're all jealous. We're all jealous. Divorce still stuck in Independent Archive building. Any ideas when they'll fix that? Nope. No clue. I did finish my FISA, and I actually have to go and upgrade my Divorce to finish that one, but still got to finish that. So, yay, it went boom. To be honest, the real ship coming next month is Patrick's Starship Enterprise. If y'all haven't seen that, that was hilarious. Not everybody has a sense of humor, though, but I loved it. Yeah, Mulder, like I said, if you're in a place like Europe, you're paying a fee and a conversion rate. So, y'all are getting charged for the companies that run that having to do the conversions. New ship, the Chichinga. I like that. I like that. What is the best way to get the USS Enterprise BPs? My question then, Benjamin, is going to be which one? Because there are, 4 different Enterprises. Which one? I'll happily answer, by the way. I'm not trying to dismiss you. Just there's a lot of them. So, if you can buy stuff with a Missouri credit card, I recommend, because no tax on GameStop. Well, keep in mind, John, that if somebody is in Tennessee and then changing their zip code and stuff to Missouri, that's fraud. And if Uncle Sam catches you, trouble. So, first from 1 of 35. Okay, well, Benjamin, at level 34, to get that Enterprise, the main two ways are going to be from your away team store and your faction store. Now, you can also get some by doing your big Armada chest. Your epic Armada chest at that level can also help you out. So, all right, we got King Ingle, JTK, we got everybody here. See if anybody else wants to join, and we'll go open these boxes so I can start doing those Armada chest pulls. Cerrito shield recharge broke. Yes, General Darkfire, it is. Has not been fixed. Don't know if it ever will be fixed, to be honest with you. So, to make sure I unlock Woke Carol, I now have 4 Max Centurions to scrap at 42. Hey, man, that's awesome. Somebody over here just going crazy. That's a lot of Centurions, but you know what? That's good because that's a lot of Explorer ship parts for you. So all that's really going to do is help you with your ISS Jelly loot. So honestly, that's a win. The drawback is you've got to actually do the upgrades, but other than that, that's actually really beneficial to you. So GG's. All right, so we're going to wait on Siren of Titan to get here, and then I'll speed that up. Does the Defiant buff work on all Armadas or solo? Gosh, all y'all got the good questions today. So you get that bonus. Again, this is dependent on your research. Remember, there's 3 different rungs, 3 different rows of research for the Defiant. But yes, you get that from regular, or you do get the benefits on regular Armadas. Depends on what specific research you're referring to. So, afraid I'm not strong enough after I level up. I have a question. At level 29, I have everything and all the resources level up. Is it worth it in a matter of leaderboards? Again, that's kind of up to you. Are you able to handle the content when you go 30 plus? Not much is going to change, right? My goal when I go 30 plus is to start moving to 34 as quickly as I can, which is why I have an account at 31 that's already upgrading to 32. And if you combine that with doing it on weekends so that you can get all that material spent to count for leaderboards, that benefits you. Generally, though, if you have not rushed at your level 29, so for example, I left 29, I had a Max Vidar, Stella was unlocked, I had a Bortus, right? I had 28 faction ship, so I'm able to easily handle any of the content that I need to handle at 31, 32, etc. as I move up. And if you're preparing that same way, then yes. Now, if all of your buildings are done, but you have like a tier 2 Vidar, you don't have a level 28 faction ship, well, then leveling up might not be the most prudent course of action for you. So it really just depends on where your account is in total, because as you level up, you'll get so many researches. It's tough to stay maxed out on research, but ships are always going to have a little bit of level that they need to maintain viability. And generally speaking, minimum tier 5 on almost any ship for basic PvE combat is a given. Though with other hostiles, such as the new ones that just came out this month, you're going to need even higher than that. Do you recommend a 3rd research slot? I don't necessarily think a 3rd research slot is needed. Is it handy to have multiple research slots? Yes. And as you can see, this account has 3. So I purchased 1 extra builder and I've purchased 2 extra researchers on this account. And that allows me to have multiple things going. And as you can see, getting the 21 helps for each. Really, it's just a convenience thing, because if you sat with 1 research, you waited for it to hit max helps, and then you just sped it up, it's really no different. This is just allowing me to do that multiple times. I do think it's handy if you're a limited income or a low spender that doesn't want to give a lot of money to Scopely. I think there's other ways to throw that money, because it's really just that, especially the 3rd one, is really just about convenience. So up to you on whether that has value. I do like having at least 1 of each, though. So, sitting at 43, have my Valdor at almost tier 6. Any reason to stay there on 710? Kinslayer, great question. You're in my alliance. I got to give you the best advice. I would say for you, what are your current goals? We talked about this last week or week before, we were interviewing players and looking at their accounts. If I'm in that area of the game, I want to be able to handle the content. So first of all, how are you doing with the new augment? Remember, if you level up right now, your goal should be to be heading towards 46. I mean, if you can't even do the augments right now, leveling up is just going to make those even harder. At the same time, I don't want you to just sit down at 42/43 until you have a tier 9 Valdor. That's definitely not the recommendation. I'm making. So how are you in your existing loops? Are you doing the solo waves, or, well, I'm sorry, are you doing the group waves, which you're in my alliance, so answer, but that's for everybody else. How are you doing with the solo mechanics? How are you doing with the arena mechanics? And if you feel like you're progressing well and you're prepared to move up to 46, then start making that process happen. So, generally, do you think the ship grinding pacing is right for free to play? I had to grind forever to get my ISS jelly, but I never use it because it was so quickly outclassed, so I moved to 40 plus. Yes, 100%. Yep. Yes, I do believe that the ship grinding is fine. It's just more of knowing how to do it, right? And I think the biggest issue that Star Trek Fleet Command has is, one, there's too much stuff, but beyond that, there's a lot of stuff. It also is confusing where everything is at. I think that is probably as big of an issue as anything else. For example, most people can't just rattle off all the places to get the Enterprise, hence why they come to this stream to ask, right? You know, it's that to me is a bigger issue than the actual time. But do I think they're worth it? Yeah, especially specialty ships, because you are going to want them in your archives. So for example, Ukimon just said, do people need Franklins today? Straight answer, no, they don't. However, we already know the Franklins, both of them are coming into this next month, right? So that means the Franklin is going to give us resources and such if it's mastered. That's free stuff. Well, to get there, we have to have maxed out our Franklin and our Franklin A, right? So, do I recommend doing that? Absolutely. Absolutely. Do you need that for your everyday gameplay? No, you don't. But is it something that I would recommend you work towards? Yes, I would recommend you work towards that, again, because the benefits are great, especially for free-to-play players. Like if I'm really trying to say, hey, this group of players needs help, well, one thing that they should do is take advantage of the independent archive. So, is your Franklin maxed on which account? On this account? Yeah. Yeah. On my baby account? No, absolutely not. Yeah, we scroll over here. Old Franklin A should be laying. The old USS Trevor. Now, level-wise, I don't have it maxed, but it's tier 12. There's the old USS Trevor. Shout out to Trevor from all those years ago who purchased this for me so that I could have it when it came out. And then I don't remember, did I scrap my baby Frank? Nope, here it is. So I think I scrapped my other Franklin because that's a tier 1 one. Yeah, here's one. Oh, tier 8. This Franklin needs to get maxed real quick. I should probably do that. Before next month. So, let's go ahead and do that real quick before we forget. It doesn't take anything. Let's just go ahead and do that. The rate of new loops and stuff against stuff through quad life should be more equal. Well, Erwin, I would agree, but how can you say that's not the case? Over the past year, there's been far more into quality of life than there have been in the new loops. I don't think that's debatable. They've absolutely been doing exactly what you're asking them to do. That's already happening. Like, even the new loops that come out now speed up old loops. Like, I can absolutely get on board if we want to complain about, like, stability and lag. It's been atrocious. But definitely can't argue that they've been focusing more on new loops and quality of life. Even the loops that are coming out now are quality of life loops. For example, just a quick opso from this month. The Augment update is drastically speeding up officer sourcing for almost every officer group in the game. That's huge. Now, are you going to have to do the loop to do that? Yeah. But there's multiple things all in here. So, I just need to fix the Seska tax. So what you're saying is you don't like to have, you don't want to be like Rev and hit the full pull when you just have to hit the 1 every single time and it's really annoying. I agree. I agree with you, Tibbs. I agree. Content was good. Grind, was it? See, I don't have a problem with the grind either. I don't think the grind's bad. I think that the loot table should be adjusted so that if you're hitting 60s, you get the value of the 40s, but I don't think you have to hit too many hostiles. Do loot crews do like they usually do and increase the amount of rep you get? Correct. Correct. Tiberius, I don't know if you were at last stream, I think it was Sunday, I was pulling that and I, like, literally right after saying, hey, this has no cooldown and watch your prices, I literally pulled the full pull. So that was annoying. So as somebody who has already fallen victim to that, yep, that's annoying. All right, speaking of Fisha, I know that one's done, but Devore, get the old beetle. Still got to get that thing up. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Rev did it. Rev has done the impossible. He has maxed out the beetle. It only took this account 6 years. Now granted, I wasn't trying. It only took this account 6 years. Very, very nice. All right, now I got the Ferengi Devore and I got the mastery done, so yay. We'll have to let that fix up so we can pull that arc out. All right. Unfortunately, both my accounts are at crappy breakpoints, 43 on 710 and 63 on 44, so augments are tough to keep up with. Well, again, this goes back to, you know, how do you want to work your account? So, for example, a level 42 player with a Valdor can definitely grind the 40s and 42s of augment, but they would need a strong Valdor, right? Do you want to invest that time, or would you rather wait till you get to 46? Right? Same thing with the 63. A 63 can easily grind 62s in the new Augment Space, but you're not doing that with like a tier 1 Akira, right? So it just depends on how much you're willing to balance investing in that level versus moving up and then focusing on that level. But either way, there's a struggle if you're not strong for your level, which is something I always harp on. And I know some people get annoyed at that harping, but one thing I always like to remind everybody is that there's always a new thing coming. Always a new thing. Doesn't matter what it is, there's a new thing coming. So you're never going to catch up. And that's the real thing I try to help people fight against, right? Everybody's like, well, I've got to level up so I can beat this hostile, or I've got to do this, like I got to upgrade this so I can beat the... The truth is, this game intentionally will always make it to where you never reach the goal, because why? I've said it a million times, but I will repeat it. I don't mind saying this point ad nauseum because it's important for people to hear it. Pain and frustration leads to spending. And you might go, I'll never spend $100. Okay, cool, that's you. Does the method work? Yes, because the game still makes several million every single month of gross revenue, and the game is 7 years old. Almost every app in the App Store would kill to have the revenue model that Scopely does, and the fact that it's successful. So you never catch up. Like all these people saying, oh man, you should definitely go to Op 66. You jump into G6, it's so easy. All you're doing is getting closer to the pain point. So you got to decide for yourself, where are you at in terms of enjoyment factor? And that has to be the deciding, now I'm going to make this decision because of what I enjoy. And for me, I actually went faster than I normally would to go from 56 to 60 because I wanted the G5 epics. I love these shit. This is my childhood, man. I wanted this so much, and I moved faster than I normally would to get there, right? So I made a sacrifice knowing that I would probably have a couple of hiccups in the road, but I really wanted to move up now and get them, so I made that decision. So you just got to find that balance for yourself. Understand that the game is always going to have difficult mechanics and always going to raise the bar, because that bar being raised incentivizes spending. You know, they're a company for profit, right? So those new 70 surveys for that event will tell you how evil G7 will be. Yeah, we've already got hostiles in the trillions now. So Ken Slayer says, I went to G6 because I had 2 maxed epics and was willing to allow my account to stall while I build up. And see, that makes sense. I've said that I wouldn't go into G6 without maxed epics. I just won't. And my personal goal, and I'm not saying everybody else has to follow this because I wouldn't honestly recommend you follow that, but my personal goal is I want all 3 of my G5 epics maxed before I'm going into G6. Truthfully. And there's no wrong answer here. You know, and I have also set a goal that I want to be at least 700 million power. I'm around 600 million with full ship loadouts now. So I've got a lot of room to grow to hit the goals that I've set for myself. 700 million would put me currently around the top 20 of level 60. So I'm not even going for like the top run overall. So if you scrap the original Franklin to the Franklin A, do you have to reacquire the original and max it out again? I guess if you didn't take it all the way, just like with the Devore, we can then assume similar thing is going to be needed, right? Yay, Latinum. Have more Devore parts. So yeah, if you only ever took a Franklin to tier 7, to master the Franklin, you're going to have to go through the Franklin process. If you want to, right? Denro says there's nothing wrong in just staying at an ops level that makes you happy every day to get your stuff done fast and easy. Absolutely. Right? You know, it's, and again, and I've said this before, it's not to shame people, but like I have a lot of people that get frustrated in PvP arenas, right? There was a player, I'm not going to say his name because again, the point of this message is not to shame somebody, but they were in the bottom 10% for their level in G6. And they were frustrated that they did like 18 straight PvP arena matches and lost. I mean, like, well, what do you expect? You're one of the weakest players at your level, especially in the premium area of the game, which is PvP oriented. Whether you like PvP or not, everybody who's in G6 can acknowledge that area is definitely PvP oriented. You're not going to do well, right? So the only reason that I do well in PvP arenas is because I purposely spend months planning things like this, right? Like many of y'all were part of my process of ISS Jelly, Enterprise A, Enterprise D. Like it didn't just happen. I didn't buy a pack. Like it was months and months of planning. And then I hit level 60 and I'm able to fight those low Sigma players because I did lots and lots of planning. And if you're going to save money, you have to do a lot of planning. Strategy and planning are your keys to success if you don't want to, you know, drop the almighty dollar, which is completely fine. But you just got to decide what's valuable to you. If you're a player that says, hey, PvP doesn't matter, then you don't need to sit there and worry about having tier 9, tier 12 ships because you just don't care about PvP, which is fine, right? Is there good stuff in the Terran Empire faction store? Absolutely. Here's the dirty secret that I just said 10 minutes ago. There's always something coming out. So you could be like, yeah, you're missing out on this right now, but is it going to affect your game a year, 2 years from now? Maybe not. It affects it right now, but will something come out that power creeps it into non-existence? Yeah. Kind of like how Locutus was a solid PvP FC, but now if you have FC Con, you shouldn't even look at FC Cutis. Like FC Cutis doesn't even deserve to have his name said. Poor FC Cutis doesn't even deserve to have his full name said. You can't tell me saying just Cutis. So it just depends on where you're at. Depends on where you're at. With your advice, I pulled the trigger on G6 and was staying at 63 for a while. Yeah, there you go, Scott. Again, what I want more than anything is people having fun in Star Trek Fleet Command, right? Just the same thing I say in War Thunder. Like the War Thunder community is the same way. Like everybody seems to play that game and they secretly hate it. No, I want you to have fun. I want you to play a video game and go, dang it, I love the community and I actually enjoy logging in every day. Anyway, other questions, we'll hit them. James says, I'd say I'm a strong 42, about 85 million, but those Augment 42s aren't painless. I'm chewing up the 40s though. Yeah, look, as long as you're at your level or one rung below in the augments, I think you're doing really good. The big thing with the augment hostiles is getting people to focus on officers, right? Like I was telling people, this past week in stream, I ran into a couple, great couple. I've worked with them before, but they come to me every now and then saying, hey, we need help. What do you suggest? Well, they were both in upper G4, right? You know, around level 50, 46 type. And one of them didn't even have Janeway unlocked, right? So what do we then immediately focus on? Okay, cool. We see where your account's at. We're not going to shame you, but what we want to do is point you in a direction. So number one thing, we want you in your Alliance tournaments to get the NX02 Columbia skin so that you can start pulling the officer exchange every single day using your rares. And that's going to help you get Doctor, Cote, 7, Janeway, and then of course the 3 below decks that everybody wants and needs maxed. Kim, Torres, and Neelix, and Paris and Tuvok are still solid as well. So it's just, okay, if you find you're struggling, then we just need to point you in the direction of how can we help you get better, right? Because there's a lot of things, and I was saying this earlier, that you can get these things in G4, G5. It's just knowing where. Like, did you know that there's 4 places to get Janeway shards? Not all of them are as easy as that box, but it's keeping up with where they Scopely just like dartboards everything. Just like there's something over here, over there, over there, over there. That's a real pain to keep up with. So that's my job where I come in and say, okay, it's definitely tough right now, get where you're coming from, but let's focus right over here. Let's take a look at this over there. And then give you some direction to go in so that you don't feel constantly overwhelmed. Right? How many Enterprises need to be scrapped to max out the Enterprise D? If you're talking ship parts, 1. Again, this goes back to where your efficiency researchers are at, right? Where are your efficiency researchers? But everybody, I had people comment on my video, Rev, I'm gonna have to scrap like 3 Enterprise A's. No, you're not. Do your research. I did 1 and had every part I needed to take the Enterprise D to tier 11. The only thing that's held me back is the Epic Gas Epic gas, literally just epic gas and titanium. That's it. And epic gas is going to come to me thanks to my Revenant pulls. And the titanium comes from doing events. I still have more ship parts than I can ever need because I did my research, I got my efficiencies way up, and I scrapped 1 Enterprise A. 1. I've not scrapped any more. I've not secretly done 3 Enterprise scrappings and didn't tell y'all. I did 1, and all my parts are taken care of. So then that comes back to getting the epics, which again, the material converter and the refinery, doing your Revenant loop with the Continuum refinery. Those are going to give you the epics that you need. So, can you grind the 60 augment? Yeah, I grind the 60 augments. I can hit the 62s. But when I go grinding, I grind the 60s. So like when I get my heroic event for, hey, you need to go hit the new hostile, I go grind the 60s. And I can hit the 62s. And I really want to emphasize everybody, remember, Rev's not a top player at level 60. I've still got a long way to go. If you go look at stfc.pro, which is the website we use to track players' power and everything, you can see Rev's not lying on you. I'm not on the first page. I'm not secretly the best 60, and I'm sitting here telling y'all how to be like me when really only, the best people can be the best. I'm not here. There's no Rev Deuce on this page. No Rev Deuce. So it's not like I'm secretly the number 170. I'm like, well, all of you should be like me. No, I did the same process y'all can do. And I'm still working to get up here and be cool like Faster Than You or Shiva Fatalis or Aslan. I mean, I'm nowhere near 700 million. So all this is just part of long-term planning. Taking a step back, finding what you think is important and enjoy, and then going after this. Did I miss a crew video? I did do a video, Mo, about taking on this hostile. Yes, I did it last week. The one thing that winds me up the most about the game is how some skills do not match the officer. For example, Linus Tripp have powers against species 8472. I agree with that, Miss Joanne. Absolutely. Not everybody cares as much about the lore stuff. It bothers me a lot. But at the same time, I get that it's a game and, that's just how they do. But it's the same thing about the Genesis device. Like, Genesis device is one of the most iconic things from Wrath of Khan. Did you see what it does? It's for Borg Type 3 Armadas. What does that have to do with anything? So, yeah, for those of you who are Star Trek purists, there are multiple things in here that can really annoy you lore-wise. It feels like the Genesis device was like one of those things they just didn't have time to do anything with, so they just said, hey, we'll do this. Like, it was like, hey, we ran out of time, but we have to have it, so, hey. That's what it feels like. Want to thank you for the new video about checklists to go past 39. Really helpful. Nice to hear that, Ari. I plan on doing a checklist for going into G5 as well, and then also one for going into G6. So, just getting the time to do it, but absolutely working on that. All right. Secret lore. Genesis created the Borg. You know what? You may be right. Secret lore. Secret lore. You'd rather spend $50 in War Thunder than STFC? Sure. Okay. I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money. Whatever makes you happy. That's the thing. You got to be happy with how you're spending. All I care about. The Genesis probe didn't look like the original in the film. It was a torpedo. Well, no. You're confused. The torpedo casing you're confusing is Spock. You're confusing the torpedo casing for Spock. The Genesis device was sitting in the transporter room and looks exactly like you had right there. Here, I'll put it back on the screen. Wrong button. Now, if anything, it's smaller. But if you remember when they were in the space station itself, you had that, and then you had the tall Genesis device that was stored in the underground or in the moon. And then when you saw it in the transporter room on the Reliant itself, it was this thing. So, I'm 35 with 12.5 million power. Should I move up? My strongest ship is my Saladin. Benjamin, I would recommend you get the epic. I would not leave 34/35 without picking up your epic ship. That's what I would do. And keep in mind that, remember that chest I was telling everybody to pull earlier? Well, pay attention to this, Ben, because you're a low-level player in this instance. Go to your away teams and make sure you're pulling this every day. If you're pulling your standard assignment booster, that's going to give you the materials needed to come into here and go and pull. Where's it at? Where's it at? There it is. To pull this, right? So you're getting them from away teams, getting them from your faction store. I would definitely, if this is what you wanted, the Enterprise, I would go and grab it. So just a friendly reminder of how to acquire said currencies. You know, someone goes 61 today, completed the ops, but his building timer was around 300 days, more than mine. Research. Yep. It's amazing how much you can save by doing research. And I don't know if y'all saw, but you look right here, I'm scrapping my Tribune, but I've got to prepare. I got to prepare, right? Tribune, that's helping me do max to Daradex. All my ship parts, handy dandy taken care of. Now, will I have the epic materials? No. But the ship parts, I'll be A-okay. I'll be A-okay. All right, we got that one. Yay. Is there another one? Not currently. But let me go pull these refines real quick. Open these chests up, get my hemocytes, and we'll go do our Zindi pull. All right, what are we going to get? Yay, artifacts. Yep, artifacts and some ship parts. And then this one I really like because you get all the currencies for the other stuff. I really love that. Plus some nice epic artifacts, you know, at least a chance for them. So let's go ahead and pull this box as well. Oh, I got a couple of ship blueprints I saw and some artifacts. Did anybody look up what the next artifact event is for me? Did anybody happen to catch that? Those two are running. I'm looking to see if one's respawned so I can run another. No. All right. I wish I could get G4 rare blueprints in the waiting store at Ops 42. It would make the run to 46 much smoother. So you don't see those until 44, I believe. In the mid-days, SLB is not for a few days. When's the artifact SMS later? Let's go take a look. Let's go take a look. Take a look. In a book. Reading rainbow. Reading rainbow. All right, that's the fleet commander. And yeah, these are all the past ones. It doesn't show me the ones upcoming again. So when is it that, because they do it in what, 6 and 12 hour shifts? How long from now is really what I'm asking. I might just go ahead and pull those things now. Sorry for the English and spelling. When will there be another material event? If your material events, as in a spin leaderboard, those are every weekend. So Saturday and Sunday. Saturday and Sunday. Now they will do some that are constantly running. Like for example, there is one running right now. Wrong button. Wrong bucket, rather. But weekends are when you do those. Weekends. When you make the push past 39, when's the next stopping point? 42. So the easy stopping or camp spots that people will call out are going to be where you pick up your next FKR ship. So you have this right here, but you generally don't want to invest in this until you, again, it's just a recommendation, but until there's a leaderboard to go along with it. So you see, I did this one during last weekend's leaderboard. So that's generally how most people do that. All right. Oh, darn. Somebody launched it before I could. Darn, they got it. That means they get the starter chest. Is there one in here for me? No. My Lanta. You're 35 and struggling with the new away teams. Any suggestions? I literally did a video on that yesterday. But do the research and keep running them. And if you're like, hey, it has a chance to fail, that's okay. Just like the away teams were when they first came out. That's okay. If you fail, you fail. Just keep running them. All right? Like I've got this one up here. I do not have the currency to run it, but if I failed it, that's just what happens. Yeah, there's Crass. He's currently out on the thing. But this one only shows 70%. You still run it, right? And if it fails, it fails, right? Like my low-level account is running them right now. And I know I don't have it up, but it is running an Explorer Salvage. And it has only, here, let's see what percentage chance it has. It's 3 days left. Only a 53% chance, but a 58% chance to critical. So here, you know, I can put that on the screen real quick. Close this out and put server 710 on the screen. So here is my level 31 account. Run them. Absolutely run them. And if you fail, you fail. You just keep at it. You just keep at it. You keep doing that daily claim, get your currencies, right? Do the research. You just keep running them. Now, I'm not trying to fly through it here on this account because obviously I'm not going to be able to do very much. But you just keep earning the currencies, you know, working through the process. And if you go in here and look, so if we go into the away teams, as we talked about in the Q&A with game design, right? These 3 researchers are going to help you have a better chance in terms of like your actual chance to succeed in those away teams, right? And I'm currently working towards getting the Apex shredding. We'll work towards there. So mine's only 29% chance to get it. None of the high officers yet at my level. Well, I don't have, what do you mean high officers? Did you see my officers? Like, I'm not trying to say I'm amazing, but literally start of the game, and that's a tier 1 officer, right? Like, I don't have high level officers. That's a tier 2 officer rather. And is this tier 2? Okay, so I apologize. Tier 2, and then could be higher, but I can't afford him. He's tier 3. Like, I'm not running high-end officers, and I'm running officers that you get at the beginning of the game, right? Again, this is for this specific mission, granted, but 53% chance. You know, it's a coin flip. It's a coin flip. I could fail, I could succeed. I'm waiting the 75 days for I was 40. Will I be a 40 after that? Yeah. Yeah. There's some red crosshairs on the ship. Andrew, so yes, you're right. We are at war, but this is the PvP system. So I've actually got my ship sitting here to help feed people the PvP because I've got the Vimit crew on. So it's just for people at my level who want to do the PvP event. And this person is also helping out doing the same thing. Like, yes, I get it, war targets, but there are some things that for me, I leave things alone. And hey, if we're both trying to help the rest of the server, I'm not going to be the butt who's like, no, you can't help the server, only me. I'm not going to do that. He shows the officer depot on this account. I don't see the Enterprise E crew available on any of my devices. Yeah, sure, I can. So, number 1. Hold on, let's see if I've even got that building upgraded. 1 second. So don't forget, you can't level this up until 32, but when you level this building up, it gives you Enterprise E officers. I've also gotten charged from flash passes, battle passes, etc. So I got my Enterprise E data. And then you're not going to find it in like the Ultra Chest, though the Ultra Chest does expand greatly once you hit level 30. Like a lot of officers get added into it, which is good in that you get more things. It's bad in that it dilutes it, so you get less of what you might be wanting to focus on. The premium is still the premium. Like that is what it is. Right? That's just the premium pull. Then you have the independent archive pull, which you can see I do this every day, which that has good officers like Pelia and other things in there that you want to pick up. I'd have to switch to the other account because I'm not running the community mod, so I can't look inside. But it's got the Strange New World officers, Nesmith, Janeway, Pelia, Dane. I'm trying to think of who else it has in there. Aliari. It's got multiple good officers in it. As far as Enterprise E, the biggest thing is me doing the battle passes. They show up quite a bit in the battle passes. And that's where I got, where's my data? Where's my data? Might be too low level. Data, where are you at? There he is. I've almost got a tier 2 Enterprise E data, which is absolutely huge. So that's a big one there. And then after this loads, and keep in mind that once you go 30 plus, the officers presented to you do change. So there's the data. So when you're below level 30, you get a much more limited version of officers. But then you also have the TNG set here. You have the Voyager and the Picard set. Blah. This is good. Lower Decks is solid. And then the mirror one with Nurse Chapel and Strange New Worlds. So Enterprise E has, as you can see, mostly been from my just sticking to the battle passes and working on those. But you also have very important officers to go after, like the Voyager crew here, and even Picard and Beverly, and the TNG and the other crew as well. All right. Don't forget to not pull that when you need to upgrade the IA. Correct, Tim. So if you have something in your archives you need to upgrade, don't do the officer pull. Right now, I have enough because I'm working on the Devore, but it's not maxed. But yeah, make sure you do that as well. I got my Botany Bay maxed. I got the Vidar maxed. I'm getting the Augment. I'm getting officers that will eventually turn into transporter patterns. And then obviously I'm getting faction credits, really helping my daily grinds here. My wife texted me, sorry. All right. Wish they included Harrison in the officer event. They do include Harrison, again, in random like flash passes because I also have Harrison on this account. And keep in mind, y'all, that I'm not like just trying to show y'all something to be like, oh, I've got it, you don't. This is an account I don't spend money on. I've spent $15 on this account. All right, just 15 bucks. And again, I always just try to be honest about what I've done. So I bought the extra builder and the extra researcher, and that's all I've done on this account. Everything else I've gotten free to play, so I didn't buy any officers, but I got Harrison through Flash Pass, Data, same thing. This from Syndicate, right? Cisco from both passes. I think one free treasury. Picard was a leaderboard. Again, all of this has been free to play during the past 8 months this account's been alive. So. Moved out 46 last night. I'm ranked 403, and my girlfriend is throwing hate. Hey, do I need to talk to your girlfriend? What I need to talk to her about is how to get better than you, so then you can throw hate. So, Harrison is in the IA recruit chest. Think he is. I'd have to pull up the other account to look at it. And if y'all don't already use the community mod, would recommend. I don't personally use it, but that doesn't mean I don't recommend it. So yeah, go after that as well. Let me go see other account. Yep, Harrison is in it. So that's probably where I got some of my Harrison shards, because Harrison is indeed in it with the chance to full pull. One thing about the IA independent recruit here, let me go ahead and switch accounts again so we can actually look at this. One thing about the independent archive recruit, and like I said, if you have the ability to close out, come on, yeah, close out. Yeah, I don't want to wait for the yeah, close. All right, so here we go. One thing I love about this is you have the ability to full pull these officers. And yeah, it's not going to happen often. I'm not saying it is. All right, you got a very, very tiny 0.14% chance. But you can get significant shards here, including you might get lucky and pull it. So if you do not have anything to upgrade in your IA building and you're stuck at that 5,000 currency cap, remember the cap is 5K. So if you get 5,000 of this currency, you're not getting any more. You might as well grab this every single day. And it's something I really, really, really stress to my low-level players. If you are a free-to-play G3 player, you should be pulling your independent archives. Those are great officers for you. Janeway, so important. Pelia, so important. Nesmith, man, if you can get Nesmith early, your entity grind is nothing later on. Right? Just saves you so much. I have Dane on this account. Why do I love Dane? Dude, your ships are so slow when you restart the game. Dane helps give them a little kick in the pants. It's so nice. I use Dane on this account. I don't think I have him below decks right now. I don't have him on this set because I'm just doing I was doing a loot grind and I was doing the grind for the new hostile. But yeah, I mean, absolutely. You're free to play? Yeah, Jadeo. You are the best free to play level 70 I know. You and Bally Bomb are such amazing free to play level 70. Very, very nice free to play level 70. Ice Wolf, good to see you. Welcome in, my raccoon friend. Slowly getting in from IA Recruit and the Fed Elite. Now, see, I don't spend things on the Fed Elite, but if I happen to have the tokens, yeah, I'll take advantage of it. So, I'll take advantage of it if I have the tokens. But I don't spend faction credits and such to get the Elite tokens because I feel like the value is so bad. Hey, Alexi, good to see you. Past week for the SLB, I went 60 and built all 3 epics. Retard and Dare decks are max. Enterprise D is tier 11. Too bad I'm not top 10 anymore. Wow, dude, that's really, really good. I'm assuming you won first place if you did all 3 ships. I'm assuming you got first place. That is nuts. Congratulations. Let's see if they're still running these Armadas. Am I still running them? Oh, somebody failed. What a noob. What a noob. Imagine failing. What an absolute embarrassment. Shameful even. Disgusting. Absolute. How dare. You shouldn't even come here anymore. You were banned. How dare you come here and fail. Anyway, enough shaming players. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that. I can't do it till tomorrow. Okay. Can't do it until tomorrow. Let's go check how I am on that event though. How many ISS jellies did you scrap along your trek to the Enterprise E? Well, I'm not at the Enterprise E quite yet. I have scrapped, I think, 3 ISS jellies. I think I've scrapped 3 of them. Maybe 4. 3 or 4. And really, you know, it's all about your efficiencies in terms of like how much you're getting versus how much it takes. What are your efficiencies at? I think it was 3 or 4. Now, I haven't done one in a bit. So I scrapped all the ones I had earned. But I think it is 4. Is there a better ship type for new augment hostiles? Nope, there's not. Besides whatever special ship they may or may not create. Greetings, Time Lord. Good to see you. Got your Fringy Whip, tier 8. Should I stop there? You should. That would be my recommendation. You can do whatever you want to do, but that would be my recommendation. Let's go check my away teams real quick. And my pulls here on these factions. Augment. Can't do that. And I have not earned enough for an epic pull quite yet. But 6 hours I can do this one. You can see I've been doing these other ones. I need to go do more OPC hunting, especially on the uncommons. I need more OPC uncommons. If you're level 50 out there, hey, you get to grind us, so Ref can come grind you. I really appreciate it. It helps me, which means it obviously helps you. That's how that works. Let me see if I can see any OPC folks. Shh, y'all don't tell anybody. If you do, you're a communist. Snitches get stitches. Don't be a communist. In your opinion, what's the highest tier we should take the whip? 8. Tier 8. Somebody launch one. Yeah. I don't know if that's real or fake, but I'm gonna go in there anyway. Enterprise A is maxed out and ready to scrap. I'm going to wait until I'm at least close to actually building the Enterprise D before I scrap it. Yeah, I did mine at level 57, so that when I hit 60, I was ready to immediately dump in. Remember, if you're scrapping something like that, here's my Tribune. It's going to take about 2 weeks to get scrapped. So it's not a quick process at all. Bear that in mind. It is not a quick process. Ooh, are you OPC? Oh, you're laggy. Not OPC. Darn, no OPC here. Well, let's just jump system to system. But what we're going to do is we'll jump system to system, but we'll do it with this. We'll start looking for beetles. Go looking for beetles. I have all the ship parts to max the Enterprise D when I build it, but I'm sorely lacking mats and only Ops 58. Well, good. Take your time, Juan. Remember, your Continuum Refinery is huge for that, as well as your normal refinery. You got the bulk refine option, which is so nice now. Right? You got the bulk refine option. But yeah, just do the pulls. Oh, let me see my wife is. All right, cool. All right, let's see. Is anything up here? I think Max got that first. That's annoying. All right. Tell the wife we all say hi. Well, thank you, Andrew. She is currently at the discount bin store trying to find stuff. Marin also reminds us we do have the Epic Material Converter. Turn all excess crystal into gas and ore. And if you're doing your collection for that every day, as in you're getting those bonus tokens every 2 weeks, maybe you should have what you need to do that. So, but again, loving the bulk refine option. And we'll do 1, 1, 1. Oh, I think I'm timered on those. Confirm. Yeah, I'm timered. And bulk refine. It's so nice, man. It's saving me so much. Now, for if you have this happen to you, don't worry. You are getting your stuff. It's just a good old predictable Scopely error where it doesn't show everything. But if you really want to take the time to track it, if you went and looked in your stuff, you would increase all of them. I don't know what I got on all of them, but I can guarantee you I got it. But in true Scopely fashion, there still exist problemos. So, speaking of, we did take the Revenant to tier 5. I'm sorry, tier 10. I need to upgrade it so that I can then scrap this. Since I can't scrap it for 10 days anyway, I'm not in a hurry. Loot log go a long way. Have recommended. Yep, have recommended. Have absolutely recommended a loot log. Talked about that quite a bit last week with the dev team. No idea if it'll happen, mind you. I'm not trying to make any promises here. But I have definitely brought that up because like you, I too have those type of issues and it's really annoying. Really annoying. All right. Just a reminder, guys, we have about 20 minutes left here on the live stream. If you'd like to support the channel, there's 400 of y'all watching right now. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe, and if you'd like to support the channel financially, because I can't help y'all, talk to y'all, etc., without y'all support, and it's all obviously volunteered and appreciated. But there's the links in the chat to PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. Help us pay off the medical bills and pay the regular bills because ain't nothing fancy here, man. We just regular folks trying to live life. All right, let me freeze this hostile with the Picard maneuver. Where I can... Actually, I was just going to jump systems and look for loot goblins. I really don't need to freeze that. We're just going to go loot gobbling. If I'm going to grind, I'm going to do it in the 50 system for the uncommons. Is there another GS31 upgrade event this month? Nope. Not that I'm aware of. When you'll be live on Twitch? I'll be live on Twitch in 3.5 hours. We'll do some War Thunder, and then we'll do some Star Trek Fleet Command after War Thunder tonight. So, what do you think about how Balana is a required away team member for one of the new P1 assignments? I don't personally have an issue with it. I do think that choice should matter, as in, like, you have to make tactical decisions. Oh, dang it. On what you want. I don't have a problem with that. And if that means, like, oh, heck, you know, I can't do a thing, well, then you can't do a thing. So, I don't personally have an issue with it. Where's your Augment reputation at? Oh, I'm not really grinding Augment rep like some of you might be. My Augment reputation is at 8 million. I'm not trying to get the champions and start doing all that. I'm not saying it's bad. I actually would recommend it. If you have the time and the wherewithal, you should be grinding the rep because remember, if you grind the rep to 60 million, which we've already had G5 and hundreds of G5 and G6 players do this, you grind there, that's free to play Joaquin, free to play Fleet Commander Khan right now. No spending money. Get it right now. Just if you want to put in the work. Rev does not want to put in the work. Rev has too many other things to do. But absolutely a good idea if you're willing to put in the time. So, yeah, mine's only at 8 million. Ooh, we got a little guy floating here. What you got on you? Nothing. Why is everybody so broke? Everybody's so broke. Good reminder, Flashman, if you haven't already, pick up your mission key. Pick up your mission key. If you haven't collected already, go to StarTrekFleetCommand.com, pick up your mission key, and you also have the one that you can do in your selection. So. Today, I'm not sure why you sent that to me, but cool. But cool. They're a good lower level streamer? Me. That would be me. I love the grind for Khan and Joaquin this month. Hopefully this can eventually become a trend in the future. Agreed. Say all the players are 40 plus. Did you not just literally see my level 31 account? That's not 40 plus. That's level 31. Rep seems like it's moving up so slowly. How about a good mid and high tier streamer? Me. The only one willing to do it all. Oh, I got 30%ed. I got 30%ed. Wow. All right, let's send it back. It was here, right? I got 30%ed. Man, rough day. Rough day. But yeah, the answer's me, Sharon. Not that there aren't other great content creators. I think we have a great team of CCs, but like Moose is level 70. Lube's about to go up to 70. And he has an alt account, but never really streams or makes content from it. Again, these aren't bad players at any shape, but I mean, the only streamer that I know that consistently plays at a low level every single day is me. Are Hadley and Darwin new officers? Nope, they are original officers from when the game first started. Way, 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 way back in the day. What about Samo? Samo, another amazing streamer. Doesn't play low level. But yeah, great streamer. Would recommend. I'd recommend all of our streamers. But, I mean, most streamers aren't me because I'm the one doing this as a full-time job. So I have, you know, dedicated more time to do stuff like that. It's not their fault. I mean, they all have jobs and families and stuff. So. Starting from the Corona, and I know you're great. Well, Corona. You can have any beer you want as long as it's a Corona. You got all 5 of the level 70 augment traders. Very nice, TJ. Congrats. Tibbs is another. I mean, y'all can list all the streamers. There's a ton of them. They're all good. Would recommend all of them. There you are. You little bugger. You little bugger. All right, we got everybody here. Think everybody's here. Feeding. Think everybody's here. Augment rep at 98 million. Very nice, TJ. Very nice. All right, we got that loot goblin. Nice. Oh, I forgot to, dang it. I forgot. I got the wrong crew right now for this loot goblin run. All right, we got to recall because I'm not using the new lady. Whoops. You grind the heck out of it. Very nice, TJ. John, don't do that. Must have just unlocked them from the new Augment store. Going to look which other officers I'm missing. Very nice. Brigadier Jones, great to see you. Welcome in. If you want to talk about slow moving rep, it's almost a year to get 10 million rogue rep. Augment is flying in by comparison. Fair enough. Now, as soon as we get the Stella added in here, that'll go by quick too. I mean, think about it. It's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8 loops with 2 more coming in. And you might combine things like Swarm into one, which I can understand. You could even maybe argue that same thing for the Talios and the Vidar. But the Fisha and the Devore are 2 different loops because it's 2 different currencies you got to grind. So the Franklin, if you say that's 1 more loop, well, it's nice that that's coming in. That's nice that that's coming in. Very excited about that. And there's more of the IA updates coming this year as well. So be on the lookout. Can't tell you what and when, but I can tell you it's not the only thing. Here we go. All right, back into the match. By the way, Moops, you gonna be ready for War Thunder at 5? November for goblin hunting? I don't do Vimit. I do full loot, and if I die, I just go back. Yes, that is a cool trick, but I would much rather have loot. Loot, 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 and then more loot, and then after that, more loot, 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 loot. I want loot. What I'm telling you is I want loot. What do I want? Loot. When do I want it? Now. Loot. Loot, 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 loot. All right, below decks, we're gonna go grab some loot. Loot. And where's Doc? Come on, Doc. Come on down. Oh, I've already got him down there. Never mind. We go loot, 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 loot. Care about loot more than anything else. E-data over Rachel. Yeah, I probably should have switched that out too. Good eye. Just switch that out as well. Should switch that out as well. Let me pull that back real quick. Take 20 seconds. And then we can do that. All right. What currency does Prime Augment Ordnance need in the away team's tree? Did they not put that into STFC.space yet? Let me go look. So I can actually quote the name to you. But that website's loading slow too. What is everybody on my stuff going slow for? Everything's slow. Maybe, is it just STFC here? I'm gonna go to MLB.com. Oh, that loaded up instantly. Everything Star Trek, even their website's slow. Okay. All right, let's see. We were talking about, what were we talking about? It was Prime Augment Ordnance. Was it the Ordnance one you were asking about? Yeah, Augment Ordnance. And of course, they haven't even put it. They have not even put it in STFC.space. Great. Well, let's see if I can see it here. I don't remember if I've actually got that one viewable. Research. Yeah, I've not gone there, so couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you. You can barely get 30 kills in level 48 is the new hostile. Your ops 56. Sounds like a crewing issue, Scott. Sounds like a crewing issue. What are you trying to run? All right, let's do group. Now we get Rachel Garrett up there. Again, more loot. We're just going full loot and we're going goblin hunting. Takes Pioneer Crest. Yuck. That's gross. That's gross. $30 kills isn't bad. It's bad when you're punching 8 levels down. I mean, because for me, punching 8 levels down would be 52s, and I can definitely hit more than 30 52s. So, I'm very curious what crew they're running. That's going to be the answer, is crewing. Level 46 and killing 48. Level 48 augments for uncommon mats and rep, research and officers. Very nice, Jason. Love to hear it. Hope you and your family are well. Got back from your vacation day. Well, welcome back from your vacation. I hope it was a good one. I hope it was a good one. That 1000% rep boost from Augment Hostile sounds nice. Doesn't it? 1000% anything sounds nice. It's all about crewing, or they rushed ops and underpowered, which is possible, but hey, we can still try to find ways to make it better. Like I said, I had that player the other day, didn't have Janeway yet. Well, we got to work on getting Janeway. So. All right, let's get back in here and let's see if we find another loot gobbo. Got any more gobbos? Not in this system, it would appear. Time to jump on down. Hey, if Scrap and I says, Jelly, do you get BPs for another? Have to grind it again. You got to grind the BPs again. So if you almost no ship in the game. There are 2 exceptions. But no ship in the game, do you scrap? Do you get the ship back? The exceptions being the Revenant and the Stella. Oh, we got people just sitting in here. We got any OP? Oh, a little OPC. That's just a booster. Yeah, I leave people alone who are actively grinding though. But as soon as he goes static, I'm gonna nab it. Have you started using the Tothian Mines? I have it on there, but I think the Tothian Mines is very much like the Genesis device in that it's pointless. I don't think the Tothian Mines is needed, and I don't think the Genesis device is needed. But I mean, I got it for free, so I might as well just put it on there. All right, and no loot goblin. Okay. Yeah, I just don't really feel like it has any value. About to scrap Stella for last time for the research. Is there much value in continuing the Stella particles for the Stella chest pulls in the Rogue faction store? Only if you want to do the pulls in the faction store for like the materials and stuff. So having Stella particles would allow you to continue doing that if that has value to you. There we go, that down there. So just to show you what I'm looking at, and again, this is assuming you've unlocked the skins for that and everything. But like, for example, Stella particles to ore. If you want to get more 5-star uncommon and rare, then you need to keep scrapping Stella so that you can get that as a pull. If that has value to you, yes. Ship parts, same thing. 4-star ship parts. People talk about needing 4-star ship parts. Stella, again, if you want to do that. I'm not saying you have to. I'm saying that's an option available to players if they want to keep it going. Hey, I got 30% it again. RNG is not happy. I'm going to use my NSEA ability real quick. So that stops happening, or at least will happen less. Okay, lag, come on. All right, so let's do you. There we go. Recall. Oh, yeah, right. Let's recall. We'll go right back at this guy. Getting multiple 30% is annoying. You scrap the friendship, then you can get it back. That's lame, AQ. That's lame. All right, on the way back we go. And now with the NSEA, if I get 30%ed, I'll at least get one more shot. And I guess the worst, I mean, I could just bring Vimit if I wanted to. I just didn't really want to drag Vimit out because I have to change everything up. I'd rather use loot. I would much rather use a loot crew if I can get away with it. All right, let's see. Where'd he go? Did he despawn? Nope, there he is. Let's go see if we can grab him now. You got 5 in a row the other day, 30%. You gotta love that math, man. Some good official Scopely STFC RNG. Vimit Rachel on 5 is still pretty good. Not good enough for Rev. I want all the loot. I'm stingy. I'm greedy. I will literally go back if I have to. I'm stingy and I'm greedy. See, got him. Got him. And with those, with that one hit, I got 272, 544, 10.8, and 136. Not bad. Not bad at all. What's the Augment Trader respawn timer? Short answer, just like in Zendy, there's basically always one up. Just hop system to system. There's basically always one up. Just got another one. There we go. Just doubling them up. Keep it moving. If you just system hop, you're likely going to find at least one. If you get real lucky, you'll find them as they chase. You hit one, another's respawn. Bam, bam, bam. So. And of course, now that I've turned that on, so you just got a third in a row. So you can catch them in a chain. All right, there's generally always one up, and they spawn differently. There's a G3 one, a G4 one, a G5 one, and a G6 one. You catch them in that train, you can start bang, bang, banging them. Is there a way to upgrade the DTI building without doing formations? Short answer, no. Unless there's like a battle pass that pays it out as a special currency. The short answer is no. Spawning random, or is there a pattern? There's a pattern. Yeah, that's why I say there's basically always one up. The timer itself is, I think, around 30 minutes. But again, it goes this system, despawn, next system, next system, next system, and they'll keep jumping. There's generally always one up. And then when you kill it, there's generally another one that is going to appear. General rules of STFC. Same way the Zendy one would. Do multiple loot goblins at the same time, though? That is usually a bug. That's not supposed to happen. If you manage to get 2 loot goblins at once, just thank your happy stars and enjoy it. That's not technically supposed to happen. Is it worth pushing the Sanctus, the only main ship I run, up past tier 7? Yeah. I mean, if you feel like it'll benefit you and you're not ready to move on up. Let's see. Got that one as well. Literally, as soon as I put on that ability, it stays. And Sporting's right. The DTI is you're doing the Krenim solos, not doing the formations. Good correction there. But yeah, you do need to do that loop to be able to upgrade the building. And the building is very, very good. All right, let's see. We got a bunch of folks sitting in here. You OPC? You're a little OPC. Not OPC enough for me to care. And not really. All right. Jump again. You love your Sanctus. You're at tier 11 on mine. Very nice, Tim. And when G5 scrapping eventually comes in, you'll be able to scrap it for a wonderful, like, $1. It's going to be great. You'll get like 50 cents in profits. It'll be fantastic. Fantastic. All right, let's see. We got anything in here? No beetle. We just got like 5, so might have to restart the process. But we'll finish jumping these and see. The new payout should be rare cores for ACC. Rare payout for what? And you do have ACC cores in some of these new payouts. The new Augment update included an ability for you to do that if you so chose. I just do my Armada pulls. Oh, there we go. That's a decent little... I mean, it's not a lot, but it's a little chunk. Go take that chunk home. You need to buy a pack? You definitely do not need to buy a pack, Scott. I have run multiple accounts up to that level and never bought a pack. You just got to make sure you're doing your Armada pulls every day. You definitely do not need to buy a pack to upgrade your ACC. You just need to actually do Armadas with your alliance. No pack is required. And if you want to expedite it, like I said, you have the new ability to pull with the augment stuff if you want to dump that currency into that. So, yay! Thank you, Ambassador Sarek. I enjoy your loot. Greatly appreciated. Thank you very, very much, sir. Thank you very, very much. All right, let's see. We got Loot Goblin. No, I don't see a Goblin. I do see a Q. He's not OPC, though. No Loot Goblin and just a Q. All right. One more. You'll see the very entry system's got a Loot Goblin sitting in it. I'm going to recall these because they are not doing anything. Don't forget, you can also use the board cube if you want to. You can get away with not having to actually deal with the 30%. I know a lot of people have been looking for ways to avoid the 30% mechanic, and there's another Loot Goblin. So. Most technically random. See, I don't even know if I'd call it random meme, but yeah. Most of the time they get psyched about players going once to the next, from close to far, from far to close. Yeah. Basically what I'm doing right now. Did I get it? I didn't get 30% about that one. So got another one. So 600,000, 34, 5, 27, and 13. And see if I can get enough of these, I can then use that. This will be the secret sauce to how I get my epic pull. So, but anyway, y'all, look, it's time to wrap it up. Greatly appreciate y'all. I'll be live again in about 3 hours over on Twitch if you would like to have more hangouts, more conversations, etc. Live long and plunder. Stay safe for the Space Cowboys. Deuces, that's me. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me. As always, love and appreciate you. And I'll see you. Nice stream. Bye.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.